So your daughter is now 14. She's in high school, and I guess you're very, very proud of her.
Very,
right?
very
Wow.
proud because trust me, girl, make sacrifices.
Oh
I
my
made a lot
God.
of sacrifices.
Yes.
I remember when she was born, I said to God, I said, God, this is your child, and I'm giving you loaned her to me, and I'm giving her back to you. So, and I also remember saying, if as long as I can allow, God will allow me to be able to provide for her.
Yes.
She will not live the life
Yes.
as a child of
Yeah.
a teen mom. I
Of
will
a
do
teen mom,
my
yeah,
best.
yeah.
And I sent her to private school on my own, and it did hard because I wasn't earning a lot of money at the time. And I remember having one pair of shoes.
Wow.
And I would take her to school and walk to work because work was in close proximity. It would take, if you were driving, about 5 minutes, but if you were walking, like go walk.
Yeah.
So I'd walk to work and then walk back to pick her up. And I remember having the shoes walk down to one hole and at the bottom of the shoes, but girl, my daughter was good for school, you know. I remember when my daughter said, Mommy, I wish you had clothes like my friend's mom's clothes, you know.
Wow.
And but at the end of the day, I felt that way, but I knew that the sacrifice, I knew the cost of the sacrifice, and that I just had to make that sacrifice to ensure that she lived a better life. So, and I remember praying, and she would pray with me too.
Wow.
And I said, God, what if it just work out, like the last year, everything just work out, and I can buy a car, and I can get a better job, and whatever. And as I said it, that's what happened. Wow. That's exactly how it worked out. And you know, I remember when we used to take the bus and we used to stand at the bus stop, she would hide behind me because her friends would drive past. Right. So and when I was like, Tash, don't be embarrassed. This is just a part of the journey. Don't feel away or anything. And at the time, she never understand. She never understand, but as we got through it, she started coming out and whatever. But I don't regret making that choice because people would say, me now waste my money and send my picnic going to prep school and primary, but that's what I wanted for her because I saw the sacrifices that my mom made for you. And I'm not give my daughter no less than we made it get. You know, even if it means me hungry, even if it means me I could do one pair of shoes,
which is something that you were doing for a long time.
Right. So I never regretted it. It was hard. Because I remember at one point I couldn't pay the school fee, and she actually started when she was going into grade 2. I couldn't pay the school fee. Actually owed for the first year, and she was going into the second year. And I remember I had 2 dreams. The first dream I had, it was the summer before the new school year, and I saw myself in the school's office with my mom, and my mom sat on the chair in the waiting area, and she said to me, go up to the front and go and pay the school fee. That was it. And then like about a couple weeks later, I got another dream. I saw myself walking through my gate, walking down the road in a white blouse and a black pants, and I was taking my daughter to school. But I didn't have the school fee because I didn't have the money to clear the first year's balance and to start paying. And they don't, how that school works is you have to have a pass. So you have to pay the fee at the bursary, and they give you a pass to take to the classroom. Teachers are not permitted to accept the children without that pass. And I also didn't have many of the books for school. It was somebody, a close friend of mine, he offered to do it, and because me feel shame, I said, no man, we're good. And I remember him saying, don't get in the way of me doing this thing for you. Allow me to do it. And that was how I got some books for her. And at the time my mom was going through a little struggle, and my youngest sister was in high school as well, so she had that to take care of. And she said, Chris, I can't help you, because when she started the first year, it was my mom that did
the school
fee for the first term,
the uniform, the
books,
school book,
everything,
the lunch money,
everything. And she did it on her credit card.
Fare.
She did it on her credit card, you know. So she said to me, Chris, if I could, but I can't this year. And for a while, I didn't talk to anybody. I locked away. And then school started. And she wasn't at school for the first week of grade 2.
You never had the money.
I didn't have the money. And I remember mom say, I was like, Mom, what am I going to do? Because I'm going to shame now. I'm going to take up on my can manage.
Yeah.
And all of
you
that.
Try to send her to primary school. You're too high.
And the school year start. And even if I was supposed to change them, I can't change her again. Because
and then they're going to shame. Yeah. The neighbors are going to say, I go different school.
Yeah. I said, I feel like a careless mother.
Yeah.
And then she prayed with me and she said,
wow.
It was when going into the second week, and she gave me her debit card, and she said, I think I owed 30,000 for the previous school year, and I had to pay 30,000. You have to pay at least 1/3 of the school fee to get the pass. And she said, I only have $40,000. Here's the card, and when you go, don't take no for an answer, even if them say whatever. Don't take no. I'm put on, and it so happened that it's a white blouse and a black pants that I had on.
Whoa.
And I went, and when I went to the bursary, she's like, we can't do anything, we can't do anything because there are many students that would have sent home. I mean, I say, okay, so I said to her, no problem. I'm clearing the balance and I'm paying $10,000 for the new term. And she's like, we can't accept that won't work, and whatever. So I said, okay, can you allow me to speak to the principal?
Don't take no for an answer.
Right.
Yes.
So I said, Tash, sit right here. And she said, okay, but that's not going to help you, and that's not going to help you. So I said, that's okay, let me speak to the principal. And she went to the principal and she said, all right, you can have a seat.
Yes.
So I sat there, and I remember the school is adjoined to my church. So my minister for my church is the chaplain for the school.
Okay.
So I remember her going into the office while I was sitting, and she came up to me and she said, you alright? And she just touched me, and I just started to cry because I'm like, God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But she said, I didn't explain to her anything. But she just said, it's going to be okay. And then she came out of the office, and I went in. And when I went in, I explained to the principal, and then she said, Miss So-and-so, give her the pass. And she said, Mommy, tell me how you will pay. And I said, all right, I can pay $5,000 a week until to build it up. And she said, no problem. And she said, Mommy, I'm going to give it to you. Please don't disappoint me. If you're having an issue, talk to us before. Don't let it be that you just don't pay. And the woman did bursary, she feel away because she didn't make up for myself. My daughter not going to class. So and then after that, I would still be making monthly payments because the school fee was a bit high.
Yeah, but still.
Yes, I was making monthly payments. And the woman wouldn't talk bad at me. She would leave messages. She would leave messages with the class teacher, and I'm like, why is she doing
make it
that?
embarrassed.
Right. And I'm like, why is she doing that? Why is she doing that? I mean, I paid the money.
But you had promised to pay $5,000 a week, and it was accepted. So,
I was doing that, but then after that I got a job. But even when I got the job and I was making my money, she's still. And I'm like, why is this lady doing that? And then, it's when we get care and everything, it's just start to have a certain respect for me. And just,
So like in her mind, she was saying, well, poor people must to come to the school here, so I got to do everything for she take her poor picnic out of a rich school.
And it was after I got a car, I was making my payments, I just called and said, please check the account, I made the payment or whatever. That she started to, kind of have a little respect for me. But and there were days when I said, God, I just want me picnic done the school for me to tell that lady in my mind, because me don't know what this is, I am I'm honoring my commitments. I'm not delinquent or whatever. And if I was having a challenge, I asked for extra time, and the extra time wasn't much. It was like a week or so. I said, God,
that wasn't good enough for her, and she doesn't want to get it out.
I said, God, make she just work and do the school. Me tell her the lady, but at the end of the day, it worked out fine. She finished, did well. When she got her passes to her first choice. You go come and say, God, the struggles.
You were rewarded for the sacrifices that you made.
Man. And so it was not easy, but it taught me endurance. It taught me strength. It taught me to have faith because we never know how the school fee was going to be paid.
Yeah.
And she was even going into activities, and I can tell you how God was good to me too. Because I remember she expressed an interest to being a part of the dance troupe, and you have to pay for everything, you know. They don't give you nothing for free. So costumes, jazz shoes, jazz sandals, everything. I mean, it's like, God, you can't pay the school fee.
Oh, and you can't go pay for dance and not pay the school fee.
Exactly. And the jazz shoes at the time was expensive. And I remember every time she had an activity, God allowed me to get a part-time job. Wow. And as soon as I was able to pay for the thing, the job done. The job done. I'll never forget. Yeah. It's like, alright, somebody said, alright, Christina, do this for me for 2 weeks. I did this for me for 3 weeks. And I was able to do it. And then when I paid the activity, done. And my daughter even taught me faith too, because I remember when she was going there, she wanted to do swimming and I couldn't afford it. And I remember I would be walking, and at one time when she was in grade 1, I would lift her. And I remember lifting her and she was just praying, you know.
She was just praying.
And she's like, God, please bless my mommy, please bless my mommy. And it was my little sister that actually paid for the swimming lessons and stuff like that. My sister who bought her first tablets, her first scooter. I didn't buy clothes for my daughter until she got to like grade 6. I never had to buy any clothes. The only thing I buy is like a little slippers when the slippers broke, or school shoes or something.
So
I did not do shopping. When it was my turn to start shopping, I'm confused because I'm like, God,
I don't know our size.
I don't know our size. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. But God worked it out, you know. I can definitely say He was in it all. Even in the muddy parts, even in the unclear parts, He was there.
And I like the fact that growing up around you, her aunt, her mom, is like she must have seen the fact that you guys prayed for things. Otherwise she wouldn't have developed, you know, that attitude of praying. So I'm just glad that you guys were able to even support each other through faith. And now you have a daughter in third farm, you know, and paying it forward as well, because she would have seen what you guys went through. And even in her class,
she sees somebody and she can't help. She said, "Mommy,
look at that.
Please give me $100. So I want to bless this person. Or how can we do this? Or how can we do that?" You know, she's
so it's like a ripple effect, and I'm sure that she would probably be a little bit mature than even her peers because of what she had to see. You know, you
and I think, and at some point, I felt a little bad because she started to take on a bigger role. So she's always looking out for me because she knows that sometimes I'd make sacrifices.
Yes.
So she's like, "Mommy, you eat?" I said, "I'm good." And she said, "I didn't see you eat enough." Because sometimes I had to do without for her to have. And I didn't, you were about the child part of it. That moment, and she's like, "No." And sometimes she said, "Mommy, make sure you eat now. Let me see you eat." And I, you know, she's like, "I'm not moving until I see you eat." Even now, she said, "Eat, Mommy." I don't believe you. You have to. I'm sitting right here and I have to see you eat. But you know, and part of me felt bad because I think that she was taking on more than she needed to. But she loved me. I'm over her.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, you know, Christina, a lot of parents would really want their children to kind of understand the sacrifice that they make for them, and I'm sure that there are days when they'll probably say, "Boy, I hope him sister may I fear do this." I hope. So your daughter developing this from now is like, look at the woman that you are, you know, developing for society. So, you know, that's very good. I'm happy that you stayed on the journey. You never went to do no abortion. You never carry and go dash pan the pupa and say, "Boy, take your pitney." You know, you went through all the struggles. You killed the pride and take the support from your mom. And even when your sister trying to protect you, say, "Boy, it's me, it's the teenage mom, not you."
Because they even troubled her at school about it, you know.
Look at them, troubled her for something that she never.
And she's like, "Yes." And I remember she told me that a boy came up to her and was troubling her about it. And she said, "Yes, he did remember me and you do it." You're the father because you just support his mother like she's like support his mother to sister, you don't know.
Yeah. So she know how to manage it, so God makes she
was right. And she did it for me up to now, mother to sister.
Wow.
Always.
So you guys take care of each other.
Always.
That's wonderful. Boy, Christina, thank you for just sharing this part of the journey with us. Happy that things are going well, that your family is still, sticking together, and excited that you were able to share this with families who may be going through the same thing, or would want to know how do I embrace my family, how do I support this person in that matter. So thank you again, Christina. Very grateful.